Oklahoma, where the wind comes sleeping down the plain. And that's all the words I know.
I
because
was
I've
wondering
never
when
seen
that
a
was going to run out.
musical. Yes, very, very quickly, because I've never seen Oklahoma, and I think my mom would probably have killed me for that. Actually, Deke might kill me for not seeing Oklahoma, because that is a famous Broadway play after all. So
He is a famous high school musical theater actor.
Well, wait. Let's be clear here, Josh. He was Jesus.
That's true.
You know,
you can't.
He was Jesus. You can't take Jesus away from anyone unless you maybe force it out of them. But even then, somehow, some way, they somehow find their way back. You know, I think that's how that works.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Two Beers Deep. If you're wondering why the fuck Josh is talking already, Derek is not with us. Do you want to say the fearless leader bit? I know you love to say the fearless leader bit.
The fearless leader bit is always entertaining in my opinion because he likes to think he's fearless. I don't even know who started the fearless leader thing because it was not me. Did I start it?
Clip. Yeah.
You're kidding.
Actually,
I cannot believe
you used to say something like our fearless dictator is what you originally said, and I think you cleaned it up to leader because he kept saying like, "Stop calling me a dictator."
I should have said dictator.
Dictator.
Why did I not? Really Damn it! Good. This is what happens when I get older.
Do you want to start it again?
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, our fearless dictator is not here today, unfortunately. He had much more bigger fish to fry. Otherwise saying is that frankly he just needed a night off. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, I'm not gonna divulge too much into his life outside of here, because for all I know, he could have lied to us.
He is lying to us. He's lying to you in particular, but yes, he's lying.
Yeah, that's what I figured. He's a habitual liar. I mean, he is a dictator after all. That is kind of what they do.
I really am sorry that I ever even approved of that.
Oh, it's
probably
great.
Not okay.
Don't get me wrong. It's going to get on strong, and you know it.
NBA rigged. What's up, man? We have a bunch of NBA topics today, so buckle up, man. It's going to be a NBA heavy show. We should try to sparkle more interactions with our audience. What does that mean?
I don't know, but listen, I naturally sparkle as is, so I think that's enough for our audience just in general. Just saying.
How obnoxious you were when Derek wasn't around.
What do you mean? I am not obnoxious in any way. Excuse me for turning my dial up just slightly in order to add more to the masses. What's wrong with that?
It's like the first show after you're allowed to drink again.
You know what? That's true. I talk a lot and I'm a lot more interactive and I'm just happier. What can I say?
Would you like to introduce our special guest, Greg?
I would love to introduce him. Ladies and gentlemen, someone that is a key contributor to Thoughts from the Bench. Someone that he's a key contributor to Thoughts from the Bench. Someone that we rely upon a lot, that when any one of us is frankly out, we go to the bullpen, we call someone up, and quite frankly, it is the man, the myth, the legend, the man who has so many takes that he will put you in a spin cycle just from listening to them too much. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Mr. Andre Fry. What up, bud?
Boys, it is awesome to be back on the show. I am very happy to fill in for the dictator, who is, as Greg said, an habitual liar, I believe is what you said. Am I correct?
Something like that, yes. I believe habitual is the proper connotation, but I could be wrong. I haven't looked up a dictionary in forever, so maybe Urban Dictionary, but that's about it.
To quote the great Dave Chappelle, I will be an habitual line stepper with the takes today, boys, and we're bringing buckets!
God. Oh
Let's
my God.
Go!
Look at this man.
Look at this man. We did not forget about 2 weeks ago.
Can I just say props to the fact that he's been in this jersey throughout the entire pre-production setup, and then 5 minutes before he comes on, decides to put a jacket on. And I'm thinking, oh, what's going on here? And all of a sudden, this man just absolutely uses a prop to introduce himself. I mean, I frankly could not ask for a better guest in that case. When you bring props to this set and you bring props to this show, we highly approve here.
Alsace is speechless because
he is speechless.
He remembers that Wednesday night.
Yeah, where you fucking disappeared when the going got tough and refused to put a foot in the sand like a fucking pheasant.
Sounds like Jason Tatum.
Hey, all I had to do is sit back and wait and watch it happen. All I said was, I wouldn't count them out. I wouldn't count out Miami. I did not expect that loss the way it happened. I mean, 16 points in the fourth, 8 in overtime. You hate to see it. I mean, they were up 16.
That's true. And Dre, before we actually get into some more sports talk, before we actually start the show, Dre, real quick.
You got questions?
Oh my God.
I got questions.
Okay.
Why am I a liar?
Not me, fearless leader.
Dictator.
That's you, buddy. You're a dictator, and Dre saying that he didn't call you a liar. Greg did.
Okay, well that tracks.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, cool. All right, love you. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
This jagoff.
NBA Rig says Josh plus Greg greater than fearless leader. Oh shit. Again.
You see?
Josh equals swell. Greg equals gel. Both you are supremely talented. Thank you, NBA Rigged. He also says, yo, Dre. Great seeing you again. We should do fantasy NBA together, Dre and Josh. You both seem like deeply invested in that sport. Gotta rep the Heat. Oh, that's you. Okay.
Oh my God.
Sorry, I'm not used to reading comments. Also, he loves your Miami. NBA Rigged loves your Miami jersey.
Dre, I love that you're adding stuff to the chat too. That's some nice little. I like that. That's doing well right there. But real quick, Dre, before we get into this, just real quick, since we're gonna start off the show, Dre, how you been? Doing good, bud? And anything new going on in your life, man?
I've been good, same old stuff, different day. I'm always out and about doing whatever, wedding season, and just enjoying, trying to enjoy the Buccos right now. It's very tough. NBA playoffs are awesome. Honestly, it's just another day to be great. Like, it's another opportunity to be great. And you got to wake up every single day like that. I know what people are going to say, like, oh my God, like, listen to this guy. But like, truth be told, like, it's cool. And, I'm going to throw out some quotes. Let me throw out another quote. I live my life 1 quarter mile at a time. Shout out to Tom Toretto, Fast Sex Friday. Most outrageous series of all time.
The sheer amount of positivity is going to lead me to drinking.
This is 3 beers deep. 3, 2, 1.
Crack.
Are you drinking wine tonight, Dre? Is this a class evening for you?
Hey, the NBA players, a lot of them like to drink that vino. So
that's true.
Game 2, I know NBA Rig said he loves me. They love me repping the Heat. I'm a Laker fan, and LeBron's about that vino. Kobe's about that vino. Hell, we called him vino.
Let's get into it. NBA wants to know, Dre, or question: Denver versus LA. How many games will it take? Miami versus Boston. How many games will it take? Go. Dre.
All right, let's start with the Lakers Denver. I'll spend less time on that because NBA Rigged also asked about my favorite player, which I will answer here.
Yeah.
So I think the Lakers Nuggets are gonna go 7 games.
Interesting.
I was gonna say 6, but something tells me it's gonna be 7.
Okay.
So I hope it's 6. As a Lakers fan, still won on the road, protect home court, lose the road game, and then come back at home and clinch the series. But the Nuggets are way too good. This ain't the Warriors. This definitely is not the Memphis Grizzlies. So it's going to be a battle. It really is. When it comes to Miami Celtics, I honestly think that's going to go 6 games. Celtics are really good, but Miami somehow we're sleeping on them all the time. And my favorite player to watch on the team, I know he said no buckets, no Bam. I love both of them. They're superstars. Max Strus, that dude, that dude honestly somehow, some way, has carved his way into an NBA role, a legit role. And he's a very good shooter. He can create off the shot. He's all right on defense. He's not locked down, but like I really like watching him play, and I think that he's a piece on a championship team. Like you need someone who's going to be able to catch and shoot like that, but also not be scared to create their own shot. If Hero were here, it'd be a little different story. But him being hurt, you know, he'd probably NBA Rig would probably say no Hero. But I like Struz.
Well, okay, so let's stick to the Heat and Celtics series right now, since it was the most recent game one for yesterday. For people who missed it, the Heat took game one yesterday, up 1-0 on the series, stole game one from Boston. Let's kind of put
is a word I would not use.
I mean, throughout their playoff run so far, they've won every game once that they've been in. I'm pretty sure with that case. So
yeah.
Yes,
that's what I mean.
Well, I'm surprised that most people didn't see it coming. I think we forget as basketball fans that this Celtics team is not the same Celtics team that we have seen through the last couple of years. They play differently. They still have the depth that we expect from them to have. Marcus Smart is still good. They still got Robert Williams, Al Horford, and all those guys. But there's something like just fundamentally different about this Celtics team this year that does not give you the same confidence that we expect from them. I can't wrap my head around it exactly what it is. It's like Jason Tatum, granted, has turned into a superstar before our eyes, and I want Jaylen Brown to continue to wear the mask. I don't care what people say, but the team goes as Jason Tatum goes, which is exactly what you want from a superstar.
But he's not a superstar. He's a sometimes star.
Nah, come on.
He's an every other game star. He's when it suits him star. He's not an
James
every
Harden
fucking game star. He's not LeBron. He is not Giannis. He is not Steph or Dame. He's good. He's great when he wants to be, but he's not always great. And that's how the Celtics end up in fucking trouble.
Are you going to go on record right now, Joshua, and tell us that Jason Tatum is not elite?
Absolutely. I don't think we even had him as elite when we did the NBA All-Star breakdown.
I think we did, if I recall correctly.
I'm
pretty sure.
Look, but I don't
That's
think
fair.
we did.
So, okay. So question for this. Is it simply because of the Game 5 performance against the Sixers that did it in for you? Or have you seen this streaky ride throughout the season as kind of validation for why you feel this way?
No. Like, I think all you have to do is look at the Sixers series as a whole. They go down 3-1. Mm-hmm. He's irrelevant in those first few games. And then slowly starts to crawl back into the series, and then they end up winning, right? You said the Celtics only go as far as he goes. I 100% agree with that. However, the horse that they've hitched their wagon to only wants to go when it wants to go, and that's part of the problem. And that's also when Jimmy Butler is doing Jimmy Butler things last night, right, and taking over the game and dominating the game and making sure that the Heat were going to win. Where was Jason Tatum?
That's a fair take, Josh. And Dre, this is something that I remember fondly from the bubble NBA Finals, was that Jimmy Butler basically emptied his tank on that team, and that is essentially the reason why the Lakers won in 6. Because quite frankly, Butler essentially, the image of him just gassed after Game 5 in overtime and giving everything he could is still something that is just stuck in my mind forever. Do you see him as do you see Jason Tatum as that type of player that he could be, or is he too much of a streaky type of fluidity like we're seeing that Josh says?
So there is a lot to address here, and I want to make sure I get all of these accurate. So number one, Jason Tatum is indeed a superstar. He is, in fact, in my opinion, a top 10 player in the NBA. I believe that Jason Tatum is the future of this league. I know we talk about exciting players, exhilarating players like John Morant.
Great. I think he's only 24. He's only 24.
Greg, you were right. We did have him in the superstar category.
So,
okay.
There's that. That's number one. And to further piggyback on that, this dude averaged 31, 30 and 9, 9 boards throughout the year in the regular season. He was one of 6 players to average 30 points, with Giannis in there, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Luka. Tatum was 6th. He was the last one to average 30 points, which is a big deal. To address the Sixers point that Josh had made, when they went down 3-1, they wouldn't have won that series if it wasn't for Tatum. Especially Game 7. I know we all watched it. It's 3:30 on Sunday. This dude could not miss. He dropped 51, and it was the most comfortable 51 points I saw a man score in a long time. I know Steph had just scored 50 a couple weeks ago, but now we're not even talking about it. So when you talk about the player Jason Tatum, he's the face of the Celtics, and that's all there is to it. So there's that. The point I want to address, though, I think is, in my opinion, the bigger elephant in the room. I genuinely believe that Greg is 100% right, and Josh, I believe you alluded to this too. When you talk about the Boston Celtics, there is a fundamentally visually different vibe about them that's just you're not sold upon. And call me crazy, say whatever you want, but I believe it's two-pronged. Number one, I believe there is some type of jealousy friction there. I don't really know what to call it, but with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum.
Some superstar heat. Okay. I dig this. I'm all for the drama in this case. I like where this is going, Dre. So let me see.
It's almost like they play hot potato when it comes to taking the last shot, as opposed to, let me do my job whenever the ball's in your hands. You see a lot of ISO with them towards the end of the game, and that's not ideal. So that's number one. The second part of this is I believe that the issue is that Joe Mazzulla is not Ime Udoka. Ime Udoka is not there, and Ime Udoka is a hell of a coach. All situation aside, is off the court stuff. Why he got fired and everything from Boston. Mazzulla is a great coach. They've had a lot of guys. They've had some pieces on that bench, but I believe Ime Udoka is just the better guy when it comes to putting this team together. And I think they're missing that kind of leadership as well. So, looking from last year to this year, I thought the biggest thing that they were missing was a legit floor general. I like Marcus Smart. I like him a lot. He was Defensive Player of the Year last year, but watching them in that Warriors series, they just did not have a guy in order to get that whole offense clicking to where they buy in. It was a lot of ISO ball, a lot of let's get the shot clock down, Part of that is youth. The other part of that is just because they don't have that floor general out there. I thought them adding Malcolm Brogdon was going to put them over the top, but somehow they're not there. So, I personally think it's because Ime's not there.
So let's do this. Who wins the series and in how many games, Greg?
I still say the Celtics will win this series because I still think they are deep. I know that we sleep on the Heat every single year, and I know Spoelstra's good and all that, but the Heat lost last year in this series, and this Celtics team is nearly identical to what they played against last year, and the Heat are depleted. They don't have Victor Oladipo. They don't have Tyler Hero. Jimmy Butler cannot be a guy that drops 40 every single night to be the catalyst for that team. So more guys need to step up for the Heat, and I don't see it. So I think the Celtics will win in 6. I think that was a wake-up call game for them in Game 1, especially Al Horford talking about how they were so lackadaisical at practice that they realized it in Game 1. They got punched in the mouth, and I think this is going to be a good thing for them. So I say Celtics will eventually win in 6.
I think you're onto something, Greg, that if the series goes long, that the Heat are in trouble, but if the series is short, I think the Celtics are in trouble because it takes them a long time to turn that ship around. Give me the Heat in 5. Dre.
Interesting.
Heat in 5.
Heat in 5.
I think I think Dre just perked up. Dre just perked up for a second with that. Okay.
I really did, because Heat in 5 is an implosion.
Yep.
Like, that's not anything that, that's not like we're looking at the better team. I think, excuse me, by the way, I think the better team is obviously the Celtics. I mean, we sleep on the Heat. We do now. I know, again, Greg said about 2020 and how that finals went. And you got the image of Jimmy Butler just hunched over and is like giving everything he has. If we're going to look back at that series, that run compared to where they are now, my simple answer to that is they just weren't ready. Like, their core team, the core of the team, you got Jimmy, who is ready, but like Bam was younger, and I know that Hero's not there, but Hero, he played a big part in.
If they make the finals, Hero will be back. They confirmed that.
That's good.
And they'll have Kyle Lowry still, which is also something that can't be slept on. This is a guy who has won a ring as a Raptor, so he's been there. He's got championship pedigree.
And he wasn't there in 2020, last I recall.
That's fair. That's fair.
There to pick up some slack.
So
again,
pick a winner. How many games?
I got Celtics. Celtics in 6.
Okay.
From the man wearing a Heat jersey on 2 beers deep. This is some flip-flopping bullshit if I've ever seen from you, Dre. This is so on brand.
I'm being realistic. You're telling Jimmy Butler's going to get his. And I love watching Bam Adebayo play basketball. He plays both ends of the floor at a high level. He's a rare big. He genuinely is a rare big that can bring it up the court and go on the offensive end, post up. He can drive, and then he gets back on defense. But like he just don't have that superstar mentality in him in order to do it. Like, to me, he's a perfect complement, and he's a perfect complement to Jimmy. He has that mentality, but to dominate on both ends, he's just not a dominant player per se. I think that exists when you talk about guys like Marcus Smart, when you talk about Al Horford, who is still hungry, when you talk about Robert Williams, who's very underappreciated in that whole entire team.
Yeah.
And, you got Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Like, there's just so much for them to overcome. I know they won last night. When you still won on the road, like, it's then becomes protect home court. But when you're a team that has been there and they have been to the finals, they were just there last year. Like, you got to go through that. You got to go through the pain in order to feel the triumph. And they went through that. So they're ready. This isn't a young team anymore. Jason Tatum, I know he's 25, but like, he's entering his prime. He's there. And Jaylen Brown, he's a year older. Like, they're ready. So I think they can overcome.
Let's move on. You've said your answers. NBA Rig says
flopping bullshit.
KCP is coming with revenge, serving best cold. He's killing our Lakers. I love the Nuggets, but I know AD can dominate Jokic. Who do you got? Lakers, Nugs. Dre, kick us off.
And you can also talk about game 1 too if you want, because that was a fun game.
Game 1 was wild. What a roller coaster. They went from getting dominated to actually potentially winning that game. It actually gives me a lot of hope because there's one thing that I don't believe I visually have seen from the Lakers, and that's it. The in-game adjustments that Darvin Ham made were very, very the word I'm looking for, visible. There we go. Yeah. They were very visible. And the big one was AD was on Jokic in mid third quarter when you saw them turn it around because they were down 20. And anytime they get it close to 10, Nuggets will pull away because, they got boys out here, they can ball. Bottom line is that Darvin Ham took out D'Angelo Russell, put in Rui Hachimura. But when he put him in, he put him on Jokic, which allowed AD to go to Gordon. And when Gordon was on, Gordon's floating around the perimeter, he's not a three-point shooter. You live and die with those. Mm-hmm. Mainly, you're going to live because Gordon's not a three-point shooter. But it allows AD the freedom in order to move around in the paint and offer that secondary help. And it's real nice because, obviously, he's a guy that can do that and be that kind of defender. That was how they were able to come back. If LeBron has had 3 at 40 seconds, honestly, Lakers might have won this game.
Do you see them continuing that trend going into the next game that they put Rui Hachimura on on Jokic for the rest of the game, and then Gordon gets freed up, and then Gordon has to play AD? Do you see that starting in game 2, or do you see them kind of transitioning back to a feeling out process early on to kind of maybe figure out how the game is flowing from that perspective? Because something that I think we forget about both these teams, the depth on both of these teams is very strong. Very, very strong. And Aaron Gordon, throughout the postseason, was having a very good defensive postseason. Like KD did not go off in that game in either of that series because of Gordon basically shadowing him throughout. So Gordon's not a slouch when it comes to defending whatsoever. But I think it's interesting though is that there's a different type of player between the two, because AD's a lot more physical from a point of attack compared to KD. KD's a sniper and will have to go out on the perimeter, but AD's the guy that can do so much that's hard to defend against that. So do you see that kind of sticking into game 2, or do you see them kind of doing more of a feeling out process before they eventually move to what we see then?
Well, I just want to say something. Josh is going to love this. Aaron Gordon is like Giannis in a sense that.
Oh my God.
I want to try and get this right. Okay. So I shouldn't say Giannis. Aaron Gordon is like Brook Lopez. Whereas
Jokic, even worse.
Jokic is like Giannis. They play the position, they play that 5, so it allows them to give them the freedom in order to do whatever they want, whether it's on the offensive, defensive end of the floor. In the Nuggets case, it's Jokic on the offensive end of the floor. Like, that's how it relates. Like, I'm not talking about their game. I'm talking about the
you're right. You're absolutely right.
The roster.
You're absolutely right. That is 100% correct. And a lot of the times you'll see that where Brooks Lopez plays the 5 on the offensive side of the floor, but if you have an elite big man on the other team, Giannis takes that assignment.
Yeah. And it's mainly shown on the defensive end, because offensively they're two different players when you talk about Brook Lopez and Aaron Gordon, but it allows Jokic it allows him to be free, and it's the same
scary.
With
Because he just floats so well, and when he gets the ball and he's in open space, like, fucking forget about it. And then
he's literally a free bird.
When he's exactly, Greg. And then even when he's covered, God forbid, he gets a pass off because you are just absolutely fucked. I have Nuggets in 7.
Okay.
I think AD can dominate Jokic, but I don't trust AD to show up for 7 games. And I don't know that they can get the timing right. Now that's not fair to them because they've had the timing right all through the playoffs, where when LeBron and AD don't have it, somebody steps up. I feel like this Nuggets team, like you alluded to, Greg, is deep enough that an Austin Reeves isn't going to go off. Hachimura isn't going to go off because they're being guarded by a higher quality talent than maybe what they've seen in the previous series.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sorry. I do want to answer Greg's original point about how the Lakers are going to approach game 2.
Sure. Proceed, good sir. Yeah, this is why you are on here.
I believe that Rui isn't going to start. I believe that they're going to give D'Lo another shot to start, even though he was bad. But they're going to make a change, and I believe the change that they're going to make is Schroeder doesn't start and Vanderbilt does. Because Vanderbilt's been
a great defender for them.
Yes, as a Lakers fan, I love Jared Vanderbilt. He does all that dirty shit that we're talking about when you talk about Brook Lopez, when you talk about Aaron Gordon, like that's Jared Vanderbilt. Like going into the Warriors series, they were saying on TV throughout the broadcast that Jared Vanderbilt wanted the assignment of Steph Curry, and they put him on there game 1. I was like, that's exactly what I wanted. Like everything about it makes sense. He's not going to beat you offensively, but defensively, he's going to wear you down. He is a lockdown defender. That's the only change I make. But throughout the game, when you see the substitutions, when you see a guy like Schroeder come in, you're going to see Rui come in, and you might see Rui come in for LeBron to kind of give him a break. But Rui, no matter what, is going to cover. I believe when he's in the game, he's going to cover Jokic when he's on the floor. So I haven't seen any starting lineups or anything like that, so I'm not 100% sure. But that's a change I believe that Darvin Ham is going to make.
Greg,
Lakers in 7, by the way.
Lakers in 7. Greg, what do you got?
For any old heads who have been annoyed by how the NBA has kind of transitioned to all shooting and not as much of an inside presence whatsoever and all that, this is the series for you. Because this strikes me as a series that you would get from like the mid 2000s, where defense is kind of like at the forefront. You have two elite centers that know how to dominate the game in different ways and can kind of exploit so many ways to hurt you. And just, it's so cool to watch. Watching Jokic trying to passing and rebounding against Anthony Davis during a game 1 was awesome, because the way that he just kind of, it's like how Dennis Rodman used to kind of say that like he was able to diagnose like the rebounding aspect and kind of see where it would go based on how it would hit the backboard. That's like watching Jokic like try to be under the basket and then trying to make something happen. It's kind of incredible to watch how good he is at this. It really is. In terms of scoring though, this is the healthiest I've seen AD in a long time. He looks like the Anthony Davis that we all expected to see when he was coming out of Kentucky. When he is healthy, there's a reason why so many people think he's a top 5 talent in the NBA. It's scary what this man can do. And watching the two of them go against each other has been a treat so far, because Jokic is going to put up a triple-double in some way. But Davis is going to find a way to drop 30 or 40 in a game to exploit that as well, because they're just so evenly matched. And it's going to be a series that's going to be fun to watch. I see the Lakers winning game 2 tonight, because I think their backs are against the wall, and I don't believe they want to go down 0-2 in LA. After that, though, I think they'll split in LA, because I think Denver will find a way to win game 3. LA will come back in game 4. And then I think after Denver wins in game 5, I think the Lakers are not going to be able to handle the pressure, and they're going to lose at home in game 6. And I got the Nuggets in 6.
I'm answering comments. NBA Rick.
You're doing great.
Attacking me.
Doing great.
I was not expecting.
You guys are duking it out in the chat. So here's what I want to do. NBA Rig, these are all awesome questions. I think you're really gonna like the next segment that we have planned. So I want to switch to it.
Let's do it.
Greg.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Greg is going to. Here we go. Sorry.
It's all right, buddy. It's all right, buddy. You're doing a lot today. It's
doing
okay.
a lot today.
You're doing a lot today. It's all right.
Here's what I want to do. We've each selected a team that we are going to play GM for in the offseason. Each one of us have selected a team that underachieved in the playoffs this year and have rosters that are expected to compete next season as well. So, we are going to start with Greg, and he's going to be the GM of the Phoenix Suns. Greg, how do you get the Phoenix Suns over the hump and back into the finals?
So this is going to be tough, because I was reading up on their salary cap situation. And by the way, let me just say, to go on a quick rant, I hate the NBA salary cap. I hate it. You could literally, if the salary cap was real, it would be literally paper, very thin streamer, and I could put a drop of water on it and it would just crush. Because it is the most bullshit thing I've ever seen in my life. The exceptions, the luxury taxes, the trade exceptions, the veteran exceptions. It's fucking annoying. It is so goddamn annoying. I want something easier. I want something more manageable. Make the salary cap more like the NHL, goddammit. It's the simplest thing in the world to figure out. And it just makes so much more sense. But that's a quick rant on the salary cap, just saying. All right.
We'll break that down this summer.
Yes. All right. The Phoenix Suns are in a load of trouble, guys. And I will get to the roster in a second. But first, we need a coach, because we fired former coach of the year, Monty Williams, the guy who led the Suns to the NBA Finals a couple of years ago, which, by the way, that came directly from Matt Ishbia. That was not my call. Just saying, I would have kept him on. I think he would have been a very solid continuation for them, because I think there's something there with Monty Williams. And I think it's a bit of a bad rap. But I have 2 coaching candidates in mind for the Suns. I originally thought, and you guys know me, and anyone who listens to 2 Beers Deep knows how much I hate retreads in any sport. I hate them in hockey, I hate them in football, and I hate them in basketball. It's just new guys never get the opportunity I think they deserve. So I went with 2 newer guys that I think deserve opportunities. One, I thought about continuing with Kevin Young, who's the current assistant for the Suns, who's been there for a while, helped develop Devin Booker, helped kind of develop the offense that kind of worked well, and CP3 also trusts him to a degree. But instead, I'm going to go a little bit of a different route. I'm going to go with a guy who I think deserves an NBA head coaching job, and that's Sam Cassell. Sam Cassell is a former guard in the NBA, been around for a long time. He was on Doc Rivers' staff with Philadelphia. He's a former player. I think he will fit very nicely with that Suns roster, and I think he'll get the most out of Booker and KD because I think they'll respond a little bit better to a former player that they know has had success. So I'm hiring Sam Cassell to be my head coach. Now I'm getting to the roster situation. Here's where it gets a little dicey. So right now they are 3.6 mil over the luxury tax. They have about $164 million in total guaranteed salary between 7 players. For people who don't realize that, there are 15 players on an NBA roster. So that's not a lot to work with. Not a lot at all. When you traded for KD, you did kind of sacrifice the amount of depth and the amount of room that you are going to be working with. So right now they have 7 players under contract. They have Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, CP3, Shamet, Payne, and Ishmael Wainwright. Now, because of the way the CBA broke out, they are now 14 mil below the second tax threshold. I understand Matt Ishbia wants to have a winner in Phoenix, but they are not. They do not want to get into the second tax threshold because, quite frankly, that design was built in to make it so teams don't overspend, and that takes away a lot of the trade exceptions and veteran exceptions that they can use moving forward. So I have those 7 guys right now that are locked on and guaranteed. I would refill my bench with guys that they've already had on the previous roster to either veteran minimums or just simple re-signs. So Darius Baisley, Torrey Craig, Jock Landale, Damian Lee, Josh Okogie, Terrence Ross, and TJ Warren. I know it's not sexy. I know it's not the best, but quite frankly, when you traded so many assets for Kevin Durant, you're going to sacrifice depth. When you have so much of your money tied to essentially 4 guys on that roster, that is going to hurt you in the long run. But there are some ways that I think they can work around this. Now trade is going to be very hard because they don't have first rounders to trade. They gave up a lot for Kevin Durant. So some simple ways that I would work around this is the 2 big albatrosses on their salary cap is DeAndre Ayton and CP3. First off, what I would do with CP3, I would negotiate a way to try to lower that cap. I would waive CP3, but then I would re-sign him using mid-level exception to be lower that cap for them. It's quite frankly, it's going to be the simplest method for them to get under the salary cap situation that they're in. Yes, it might be for a couple of years, but it's probably the best method that's going to work out in the long run.
Can you just give
I would
a
also
real
trade
quick
DeAndre
recap
Ayton.
of what you just
I would
fucking
not
said?
I'm with you.
I'm upgrading. I'm upgrading my internet next week, so
Okay.
yeah, we're gonna get that fixed.
Just recap real quick what you just fucking
You're
said.
going from Kmart to Walmart internet? Is that what you're saying?
Something like that, yeah. I'm waiving CP3, but I'm going to re-sign him using the mid-level exception to lower the cap hit.
Great, thank you.
All right.
That's what we thought you said, but we needed to clarify.
Yeah, my internet sucks, so I'm going to upgrade next week. I'm going to trade DeAndre Ayton, but I'm not going to pick up salary. I'm simply going to put him out there, and I'm going to say, give me the best pick package that any team wants, because I got to get his salary off my books. I don't want to take on more salary because I've already loaded up the bench with that. But lowering those 2 caps are going to be huge because these next 2 are going to be signs that I think they need. Number 1, I look at center position. I thought about Kristaps Porzingis for a second, but I don't think he necessarily fits well with them. So I think they go for more defensive center. I say they sign Jakob Patel, 3-year contract with a team option for the second year on team option after the second year, essentially. So they can get a defensive-minded center that they desperately need, who can actually play the pick and roll, which is what CP3 thrives on and would mesh very well with him. And then the last thing I would do, which is the big money signing for them, find a way to sign Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes, I think, fits that team very well. He doesn't have to be a starter. He can be a six-man type player. Very solid three-point shooter, very good defender. I think he proved himself very nicely on that Sacramento Kings team, and it is going to make some good money. I think he'll take a little less if he can come to Phoenix and play with KD and play with Booker, especially if they're going to lose money by not having to pay CP3 the amount that he's going to if they give him to the mid-level exception. And that's how I redo the Suns.
Love it. Dre. The Philadelphia 76ers are doomed. Unless you can help them. Take it away.
They've been doomed since they trusted the process. Oh,
Shout out Ping.
Let's just put this in perspective for 1 second, okay? For 10 years, they have wanted to lose. To get said player, they wanted to get first overall picks in order for it to happen, and then they ended up getting, I believe, Joel Embiid would have been the first high draft pick that they got, which was around pick 3. He was out that entire year. And then they got Ben Simmons, who they thought was the savior. And I remember them getting Ben Simmons. They were so happy. They said he's a jump shot away from being LeBron James. And guess what? He doesn't have till this day. A jump shot.
Any shot.
Any shot.
Any shot. Yeah.
I mean, he's pretty much about to be sent to China, and he's going to be a bench guy there. He's just going to be really tall. Like, it's crazy.
But he's going to make a lot of money.
And then what's crazy is somehow this all comes back to Jason Tatum. As a Laker fan, I wanted Lonzo Ball. We got Lonzo Ball. Philly had the 3rd pick, traded up for the 1st pick, and took Markelle Fultz, which is probably one of the weirdest situations. And I'm glad he's kind of turned his career around. But that whole entire thing when he's in Philly was just strange. Like, there was no injury. There was this. I don't get it. But it didn't work. But what did work somehow is the process, because Joel Embiid ended up being the superstar. So you build around him. And how you do that right now is you get losers like James Harden off this team. Don't even worry about re-signing him. There's that. Why is James Harden a loser? Look at the fact that A, he has no rings. B, look at how he plays this game, and C, look at how this dude showed up in Game 7, Game 6. This dude didn't show up. Yeah, Joel Embiid is the MVP. He also didn't show up. When he doesn't show up, because he shows up every single night, you expect a guy like James Harden, who is the de facto number 2 in this situation. You need him to be that guy, and I know he was there in Game 1. There's no pressure in Game 1. You don't got to win Game 1. Who cares? You know? James Harden's been a fraud. He's always been a fraud. He always will be a fraud. And now there's rumors of him going back to Houston, who is a fraudulent franchise, and that's where he came from. You got the fraud in Daryl Morey out there in GM. It's basically going to come down to this. If D'Antoni's the coach, I am a betting man, I should say. But if D'Antoni's the coach, I would probably bet that the only way James Harden comes back to Philly is if Mike D'Antoni is there, so he can play his game. You know, he's not able to play his game. Bro, this ain't your team. This is Joel Embiid's team. With all of that being said, you get rid of his salary, but I think there's another salary they need to shed, and that's Tobias Harris. Problem is I don't know how you shed that. He's in a contract year. I think you got to eat that. I really do, just looking at it. He's in a contract year, and it's going to be really tough. But ever since you signed Tobias that contract, he just has not lived up to it, and it's been very disappointing. They basically chose him over Jimmy Butler. If they had Jimmy Butler,
it would be a whole other story.
Yeah, whole other story.
Ben Simmons might even shoot 5 jumpers a game, if we're going to be honest. If not, like, they would have pieces. They would have enough in order to get this team to where it needs to be. Like,
you know damn well Jimmy Butler would not let him shoot at all whatsoever.
You know about the story about him in Minnesota.
Oh, it's a great story.
That's legendary.
Pay me. Pay me.
And thank you, Josh. Let him know. When he was in Philly, there was one person he took a keen to, and that was that was Joel Embiid. Because Joel wants to win. He likes the pressure. He brings it on. He embraces it, and he also embraces his flaws, and it's very important. I love how candid he is about it. Like, as an NBA fan, you got to appreciate that. So, with that being said, you got to get a coach in here, and I genuinely think the right coach for that is Monty Williams. He's a guy you shouldn't have let go in the first place because they definitely had him.
Don't hate that.
But he's a guy that's going to set the culture. He's going to, and it starts with that. It starts with the coach. It starts with the culture. We've seen franchises literally crumble because they didn't have the right guy in there. Now, I'm not saying Doc Rivers isn't a great coach. Problem is that he's not a championship coach. And that's what you need right now when you're Philly. You're a city that's starving for a championship. You invested years into losing in order to get to where you need to be, and you are so close. But you're not close enough. You can't even get over the semis.
So close, yet so far away.
Can't even get in a conference championship, and this year was the year to do it, but clearly there needs to be a change. So if you're changing the culture, James Harden's the guy to go, and Monty Williams is the guy to come in. And my next thing is going to be absolutely wild, but you got to.
That's why you're here.
This is a desperate franchise. You invested years in losing. You have Joel Embiid, who really wants to win, but when you have the culture setter and Monty Williams, when you have the voice and Joel Embiid,
he's gonna get
guys in the locker room.
He's gonna go get
PJ Tucker. You're gonna move. You're gonna move on from James Harden because James Harden is a loser. He's not a winner.
Right.
He's not gonna win in this league.
You have repeatedly emphasized the loser.
Yeah, who you getting, fucker?
Yes.
You're gonna move Tyrese Maxey from.
Wow. Okay.
From two guard, from bench to point guard. He's going to be your primary.
Okay.
Yeah.
The way you said that is like you were moving on from Maxey. I was like, I don't think that's a good move. But anyway, keep going.
No. I love Tyrese Maxey. I've always loved Tyrese Maxey. As a process hater, I was very mad. I told my Sixers friends this. Shout out Lee Kunkel. I told him that, hey.
Thanks for joining, Ping.
I am pissed that you had Tyrese Maxey because I knew that dude was going to be a star. Ever since I watched his workout and watched him in Kentucky, he just has it. But I'm moving him to primary ball handler. And I think that's going to put them in a position to win. But this is where things get interesting. And this is why you're desperate.
I see a twinkle in your eye with this
one. You got to do it. I'm sorry. You got to do it. You absolutely have to do it. There's one place he's going to go. This is where he has to go. And the city is going to hold him accountable. And when he succeeds, they're going to love him. You gotta sign Kyrie Irving.
Oh my God!
You gotta sign.
You just kicked James Harden out for Kyrie fucking Irving.
Kyrie Irving is a winner.
Oh God!
The dumbest thing you've ever fucking said on any Two Beers Deep or Thoughts from the Bench property.
You need to understand something about the Sixers, man. The Sixers put years into losing. They put years into losing in order to win. This is whole process. We are in desperation mode.
Dre, you kicked out James Harden.
Yes.
Because of culture. And you're going to bring in Kyrie Irving.
Not because of culture. Because this dude can't win. At least Kyrie can win.
With LeBron.
He's hit big shots. The only thing you got to worry about is off the court stuff. And you have Joel Embiid. You have the entire city of Philadelphia holding him accountable for that.
Oh, boy.
If you're going to sit there and say that Philadelphia is not going to hold him accountable,
is the entire city of Philadelphia going to sit in his house with him at night when he has a psychotic break and tell him, don't tweet that.
Because that's Philly.
Go get a vaccination shot.
That's Philly. That's the Philadelphia brand. They're psychos. They will do that. They will build a wall. Outside of his house, this dude not to leave. In order to focus on basketball.
Mike Richards was still doing the sugar booger so much that they traded his ass to L.A.
They thought he needed it. They thought they knew what they were doing. I'm telling
border. Because
sign Kyrie.
Border wouldn't let him in. They knew he was packed.
This is the only landing spot this dude can go, and it will work. I guarantee it. He can't go to New York. There's way too much media. There's way too much scrutiny. At least in Philly, there will be fair scrutiny and ridiculous scrutiny. But there is a player there. There is a superstar player there that is not scared to call people out. Look, listen to me. You got to listen to me. You got to follow me on this, all right?
All right.
Joel Embiid in the playoffs, when Ben Simmons did not shoot, he did not hesitate to call him out. This year also, when they asked Joel what happened, he said, maybe me and James maybe we're just not winners. He's out here.
No. Wait. Hang on, bud. He called out the entire team, bud.
And called out he pointed fingers and thumbs. That's what you want to see. This dude is not scared of the media. He will answer the media.
I'm glad to know Joel Embiid can point his thumb. That's fair.
He is not scared. He is not scared to put Kyrie in a check. He will do it. He will do it in the locker room. He will do it in the media. He will do it whatever it takes. The bottom line, I'm hiccuping because I chugged my wine. The bottom line is this. You are desperate. You are a desperate franchise. The best way to upgrade from James Harden is to get someone who hit one of the biggest shots in NBA history. And Kyrie Irving, I know what he does to cultures, but this culture is already so killed that they need to go this route. This absolutely has to happen. It is to me, this is the only city, the only place that can put Kyrie Irving back on the map, because it will support him through thick and thin, no matter what. They will also destroy him when he's bad, and he needs that kind of mental. I'm telling you.
The off court. Let's talk about the on court. You just made Maxey your point guard and then made Kyrie your two guard? Is that what you just did?
Kyrie can work. Kyrie works very well off the ball. That is one thing about his game that a lot of people don't understand.
The problem in Dallas is that he wasn't working off the ball.
I don't think he was. He wasn't the problem in Dallas.
He was the problem in Dallas.
He wasn't.
They were in the playoffs. They got Kyrie, fell out of the playoffs. What
Your
are
mic's short now.
I can't talking about?
Because he's that hyped about it.
The Sixers franchise is too busy winning with Kyrie Irving. I can't hear you.
Am I crazy?
No, you're not.
This
is
chat
crazy.
Tells
Trust
me
me,
I'm
it's
not
crazy.
fucking crazy for once.
He's not going to be out of the league.
Yes,
There's no way. But if you're the Sixers, you got to sign Kyrie Irving. You absolutely have to.
Oh my God.
He's an upgrade from James Harden. You got Maxey handling the ball, and this dude better than anybody, actually. Let's just call it what it is. This dude better than anybody creates the best shot for himself out of everyone and makes it, because he got that ball on a string. It's absolutely insane. He's the best handles we've ever seen. There's no doubt about it. But Kyrie can play off the ball, and he can score, and he can put up 50 at any point in time. That's the one thing that he will do in a Game 7 that James Harden will never do. James Harden will never, ever
your
do
last move?
Yes,
okay,
that is my last move, because ultimately I think the roster's there. I think there's just cultural issues, and I think James Harden's not that guy. You're not that guy, pal. And then Doc Rivers also not that guy. Like, he won a championship, but he just can't win when it matters.
All right, let me catch up on the chat here. NBA Rigged was loving Greg. He said he was on fire with his rebuild of the Suns.
Because I wrote my shit down, unlike some people that likes to just throw out
he's like
scandalous
currently
shit.
Looking at the roster. Okay, and then NBA Rigged was with you until he brought in Kyrie. Ping is throwing up in an airport. He also called it poopy talk.
Who is actually a Sixers fan, who, by the way, was happy that James Harden is no longer in Philly. So, I mean, bud, listen, here's what I will say. I think
losing his mind in the chat.
I will say Kyrie and Joel Embiid on the same team would be fascinating. I will give you that. But goddamn, and here's something else I will say.
Right,
when Kyrie was
we'll set up the fantasy next season for sure.
When Kyrie was the point guard by himself in Brooklyn, and he had that team to work with, that was actually, he was doing pretty well. I'll give you that. It was when they decided they weren't going to commit to him long term. That's when he immediately asked for a trade.
Look,
so
both him and Maxey can play off the ball. It doesn't need to be one person. But here's the thing about the Sixers. You can't kill what's already dead. That culture's cooked. It is absolutely cooked.
Everybody
you
loved
gotta get
everything
desperate right
you
now.
said up until you fucking brought in Kyrie. All
Gotta
right, let's
get
move
desperate. Look, there's no other free agents.
Move on. It's my turn. Shut the fuck up.
He's gonna bring you a championship. I'm sorry. I know that's your guy, but it's Kyrie Irving. I'm telling you, it's Kyrie.
All right.
I need it.
I'm gonna.
I need to give Ping a hug
this.
when he gets home. I'm gonna have to give Ping like a huge hug when he gets home, probably. Jesus Christ.
All right, I'm gonna speed run. I have the Bucks. Bucks current roster. Giannis at $45 million, Supermax, we're keeping him. Chris Middleton's in a contract year. See you fucking later. I'm trading Drew Holiday.
Oh
wow! You're getting rid of the big three.
You're just
altogether.
tearing it down.
Yep. Bobby Portis stays because he's the mayor. Pat Connaughton is a $9 million piece that is very versatile, good on both ends of the floor. I'm keeping him. Measurin Beauchamp has a lot of upside. He's on an entry-level deal. I would love to see what he develops into. Grayson Allen, see you fucking later. You end the ball with the game in your hands. You're a fucking pigeon. I'm trading him.
Wow.
Actually,
so
I think
much
he's a
Pete.
free agent even, so he can walk. You got to re-sign Brook Lopez. This is a non-negotiable. I understand he's old. He's a veteran. But he fits with Giannis so well. He's getting older, and I'm going to take care of a backup center later where he doesn't have to play the majority of the minutes.
You know, when most men get up for the Cavender twins, Josh gets up for the Lopez twins.
I love the Cavender twins. We could spend an hour talking about them.
Okay, I'm re-signing Crowder. I think that's another good piece to have. He's versatile. I'll keep him. Javon Carter, see you fucking later. Have fun in free agency. Joe Ingles, I love you, kid, but you got to fucking go. See you later. You're too expensive. You re-sign Thanos because you have to.
Make Giannis happy, baby.
Exactly. And then Dragic, Leonard, Wesley Matthews, AJ Green, and Wingington, see you fucking later. Have fun in free agency.
That's a lot of money you have freed up now.
Yeah, you're fucking right because I'm going to use it. Also, coaching change. Thank God Budenholzer's gone. I'm going to go beg Jay Wright to come out of retirement.
Ooh.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Get your dick hard. Okay.
I just want to. I'm not going to take a lot of time on
do your thing.
I want to interrupt you and just say that Calvin Sampson from Houston has emerged as a potential candidate for this team.
He's a former NBA coach. I'll give you that. And I don't want Jay Wright on there because Jay Wright is excellent on TV. So that's just what I'm saying.
Great on TV, but I want
great on TV.
Jay Wright coaching in the NBA. He is also excellent on TV.
There's a lot of people that have him for that Philly job because he literally wouldn't have to move houses anyway. Here's my free agent signings. Are you ready?
Go ahead.
First, Pat Bev, come on down.
Oh, I love Pat Bev on that team. Love him.
I need PJ Tucker back in the worst way, but I'm going to slightly upgrade in Pat Bev.
Dre hates Pat Bev, and I love this so much. I love Pat Bev. Love him.
I know that this guy's going to cost.
Bring your franchise.
This guy has kind of played his way into maybe a bigger contract than I can give him, but I've left myself some cap room to go after him. I need Austin Reeves on my team.
The Lakers aren't losing Austin Reeves because I won't allow it.
Well,
you ain't the GM of the Lakers. You're the GM of the Sixers.
That's right,
boy.
I'm also going after Seth Curry. I understand that his brother is but I need people to shoot threes. Hence why I went and got Austin Reeves. Hence why I'm getting Seth Curry. And then I'm making 2 gigantic trades. And I don't care what I have to give up to get them. The first one I'm getting is Buddy Hield.
Oh, you're just getting shooters all over the place, man.
All over the place. Over the place. And I want it to rain.
I like that a lot. It's like the Dwight Howard Orlando Magic days whenever they had basically 4 shooters around him and he played in the center.
Yep.
Man, this is shooters everywhere. This is like John Morant's crew, man. I like it.
I forgot one of my free agent signings is Jakob Patel. That's my backup center.
The guy that I picked for the Suns. I like it. Stay on the same wire, on the same wavelength.
Yep.
Jakob Hurtle.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then my big trade. And I understand I'm pushing in like 17 picks. and I'm probably sending back Drew and Grayson Allen in this deal. I am trading for DeMar DeRozan.
You know what? That would be interesting.
The Bulls are cooked.
I love that, actually.
And we need the Robin to Giannis's Batman. It's another big man that can cause problems but can also shoot. And I've got a bunch of other shooters around him. I've got my point guard secured. I'm going straight in with that. That is what I'm fucking
He's the
doing.
king of the mid-range. That's actually a solid pickup in that case.
You said I won't call him king. I'll call him Prince because I think KD's mid-range is better. But his mid-range is incredible. So I just want to make sure I have this right. You want to trade Drew Holiday for him?
Drew Holiday, I believe I still have to pay Grayson Allen, and however many picks I got to give up.
So it won't be a lot. That's number one. Number two, Drew Holiday would be the only piece I try and keep because he's a guy that can score, and he's a guy that can create his own shot. He's a guy that knows his role, and I really like Drew Holiday on the defensive end. I think he gives guards fits. Guards like Steph Curry, guards like Dame Lillard. I know they're not in the same conference, but that's going to be important if you're going to make it back to the finals. And I think they're right there. I mean, they're upper echelon when you talk about the East. He's just a guy that I can't necessarily swallow giving up.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I missed one of my other huge free agent signings because I was jumping around my little sheet here. To round out my big three, I'm getting rid of Drew Holiday and I'm bringing in Fred VanVleet.
Is he a free agent? Because I thought he just signed. Oh my God, that'd be a great pickup. Love Fred VanVleet. Love him.
So I kind of like this roster construction now that you say you brought in Fred VanVleet in a weird way. I hate Pat Bev, but Pat Bev at the very least is going to give you defense. He's going to give you effort on the defense.
He's your bench point guard. Yep.
Yeah, but he's not a ball handler. He's a defensive specialist, and that's just who he is. He's that guy that you're going to rely on in order to do that. Fred VanVleet is awesome.
So that's roster construction that takes me to $204 million. Last year they had $212 million. Like Greg said, I don't understand the fucking salary cap. So
I know you might be in the second tax threshold, which might be a bit of a problem from the exception standpoint. But you could probably get guys to take less money to play with Giannis. There's a very good chance you could. True. So this could work. Honestly, it could. I don't know how you make it work financially, but it could work.
I don't think it's out of the realm for guys like Pat Bev to take less money in order to play with Giannis. It's gonna be hard for Fred VanVleet to take less money because this dude got the.
He was a max guy in Toronto, technically.
He got the opportunity to get the biggest bag he's ever gonna get.
But you can pay him because you got rid of Middleton. You can give him the 40.
Yeah, that's not the point. The point is that he's got to get the 40. He's not going to take less money. It's about the other guys taking less money.
Because DeMar's he's under contract still. So you know what I mean? I think that's an easier sell.
Honestly, Fred VanVleet would be a much more realistic option for the Sixers instead of goddamn Kyrie Irving, first off.
Don't get him started. We got to go to break.
That's a fair point. Yeah. Let's not open this up for more scandalous stuff.
I'm telling you, I know in my heart that's the only place where he can go and thrive.
Dre, I'm proud of you, by the way. I have notes. Josh has a spreadsheet, and you just come in with guns a-blazing from just throwing shit to the wall. I love it. That's why I'm glad you're here.
It's all up here, baby. But I'm telling you, I believe it, and when I say it, it's true, and I will not run from it ever. I'm telling you, it's happening. It needs to happen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Please enjoy Great Big Room by Wynona. They just released a new album a couple of weeks ago. You can read all about it at thoughtsfromthebench.com. Greg and Dre, mute your mics. We'll be back after this music.
walk into this great big room, afraid I'll never really leave or see that old part of my soul that finds it so easy to breathe. And I sleep tangled in sheets, wishing all my dreams would die down in the darkness of me. As I walk into this great big room and all I see is your face, I want so bad to feel like that, to feel myself in the space. What I'm doing to you, I don't want anymore. But this old anxiety keeps holding on to me. I'm trying to grow and break free, grow and break free. Sometimes I see that light inside your eyes. You care, it's too much to bear when I'm feeling like I walked into this great big room, afraid I'll never really leave or see that old part of my soul that finds it so easy to
All right, and we're back. That was Great Big Room by Wynona. They're a local Wyoming band. Good friends with the bass player Curtis, who has appeared on A Great Depression. You can find out all this stuff on Thoughts from the Bench if you just go click on my my profile. It'll have all that stuff on there. So, hope you guys enjoyed that tune. I'm going to make.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What is up with this kid? Oh my god. Oh my god.
To break down.
I appreciate the props. I appreciate the props at least. Like that's
happy too.
Adding some flair and adding some drama to the, you know, to the situation. I can appreciate that, but Bud, you are literally making me drink right before my eyes, and I don't appreciate it.
Me too. I'm doing it for the Yinzers. We got.
Oh.
All right, so
that,
all right, so real quick.
More in front of your face with that. Go do that again. Yeah, there you go.
I feel bad for saying this, Dre, because I am a Yinzer at heart, but I was not a fan. I was not a fan.
God, you know, did you have it cold?
Do I what?
Did you have it cold?
Yes, I did. And here's the thing. I've never been an iced tea fan, so that's probably why I'm not crazy about it. But I tried it, and I didn't care for it.
I think you only have to ask Yinzers if they had it cold. It's only in Pittsburgh where like warm beer is better than no beer. Like
my first experience with it, I was at the Pirates home opener and I had it warm and I was like, I need to have it cold. When you have it cold, it's definitely different. And you know, I like it. I'm not gonna be like, hey, you know, drink it religiously. Like this is a cool drink to have during the summer. It's a different taste, but Claw is still my number one summer drink. I'm not gonna lie, but this is really good. I'm very excited for what's on the horizon.
The claws don't lie. I like it. The claws do not lie.
No laws exist when you're drinking claws. I do have some breaking news.
What's that?
If you don't mind.
Sure.
Go ahead.
The Lakers starting five has been revealed, and it's going to be D'Angelo Russell, Jared Vanderbilt, Austin Reeves, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. Is exactly
Okay, I like it.
I said that's the guy I would start was Jared Vanderbilt. D'Lo's not going to be the one who's benched. Schroeder definitely you can't really defend. You got to go with D'Lo again. So I like this move. Darvin Ham's making the adjustments, and Rui's going to come in, and he's going to be that LeBron substitute, and he's going to guard Jokic. So let's get this dub out here.
I like it. Everybody's nicknames, so I'm sorry I have to use your government names. Eric Matthews says nobody likes the Turners and Icy Light. Ping says the flight is too small to drink on. I love iced tea or ICDT. Okay.
And that's what's called.
Okay.
Ping, you can afford a flight. You can afford a drink ticket on a Southwest flight. Don't bullshit with me.
No, he's saying it's too small to drink on. Like they maybe they don't have beer. Or anything on them.
That's sad. I was on Southwest flights to Nashville and they still offered me beer.
Are you sure he's on Southwest? Are you just assuming?
Why would you not do Southwest? That's
because
the most.
A lot of us fly other.
Well, sorry, I'm not
cheapest.
Other. Which is Southwest.
It's not. You're insane. What? Anyway.
Oh, come on.
I'm making an executive decision to move past our Pirates topic. Sorry, boys. But
okay.
I feel like we have to discuss this. Is Roman Reigns the best of the best?
We got some wrestling talk.
Deke
on
just threw his phone against the wall if he's still watching.
I don't think he's watching. He's too busy hobnobbing with whoever he's with right now, so that might be the reason.
Stay tuned on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Thank you. All right, I asked the guys to prepare a list of the top 3 champions of their lifetime, and we're going to get to that in a second. But let's answer the question first. Is Roman Reigns the greatest champion we've ever seen, Greg?
I struggled with this one because I think as I've gotten older, I've started to kind of come up with a whole picture type logic with how I define a champion. Because as an early person, I kind of would believe that, the best wrestler or the best worker should be the one who's the champion. But there's more that goes into it. It's about drawing money. It's about being able to work with anyone. It's about being able to put on a match that is worthy of the main event consistently. Because something that I think we get lost on a lot is that when the bell rings, you got to be able to go. You really do. Something that I've noticed during this run with Roman Reigns, and it's something that I'm blown away by it, and I cannot just put into words how good he's been at this. The amount of just drama he adds to his matches that is able to put guys over and is able to bring the most out of it, whether it be milking to the crowd or whether it be kind of egging on the baby face or whether it be just being this despicable heel that we all love. It's a masterclass in what we look for in a heel champion. And I truly believe the best champions are heels, by the way. I really do.
I think we could all agree on that as wrestling guys.
I think there's a psychology aspect to the babyface chasing a heel that is something that I think just works in wrestling to me. Now I went back and forth on this a lot because I thought about and I kept a lot of the other stuff out of it. I didn't consider Flair at first because I think he was JCP.
Give your top 3?
Well, you gotta answer the question first and let us answer.
Let's answer questions, then we'll do top threes.
Answer the question. Is Roman the best or not?
I thought about a number of different areas with this, and based on all the factors that kind of go into it, whether it be building baby faces, drawing money, and then just what you see in the ring, I think he is. Because here's the thing. If you were to tell me when he returned as a heel during the COVID Thunderdome year, if you were to tell me that this title reign that he had as Universal Champion was going to last 1,000 days, and he was going to get Sami Zayn over to the point that he was getting the most insane pops that we have ever seen.
And a title shot. I
would have thought you were kidding. The fact that his first defense, his first program as champion was getting his cousin over, who for the longest time we kind of assumed as an offshot tag team guy, to the point that the Usos have been elevated almost to equal standing to that degree. Not to mention the matches he's had with Kevin Owens, with Drew McIntyre. I don't care for the Brock Lesnar stuff, but goddamn, they found ways to make it interesting. You know, his feud with Cody, I thought, was excellent from just a building perspective, and it's going to be another year-long endeavor to finally get the comeuppance I think we get at WrestleMania 40. It's just, and it's not even the ability to work every single night and do cool moves that I think we all love, but it's just this ability to get emotion involved with it that is a lost art in wrestling that he has found a way to just get our attention and has not been able to let it go. And for that alone, I think Reigns might be the best champion we have ever seen. Simply for that.
Dre.
So as wrestling fans, we need to understand there's two parts of Roman Reigns. There's face big dog Roman Reigns, and now there's tribal chief, head of the table Roman Reigns, who's a heel. If you remember the days when he was in the Shield, he was part of what some would say is the most dominant faction of all time, which is left up to debate. But when he went out on his own, this man he was forced down our throats. And it was legitimately so bad because this dude couldn't stand on his own. When it comes to being the guy, a main eventer, the biggest thing isn't in-ring talent, because that was never an issue with Roman. It was about how you're going to handle the spotlight. And he came off as corny. He came off as not knowing what to say. It got to the point sometimes where guys like Cena were just kind of like, hey, you're cutting a promo, kid. What are you going to say? Like, you know, he'd come out and every time his music hit, like everyone would boo. And the only time they didn't really boo him when he was a face was when he announced he had leukemia. It was really sad, you know, but when he came back, it was cool. And then he disappeared again. Roman Reigns is a heel. I genuinely believe is the greatest champion we've ever seen. This is without a doubt the best run we've ever seen. In terms of if you want to put in whole entire resume, that's fine. But like this run that Roman Reigns has been on has been the greatest run. I'm 31. Josh, I think you're 33. Greg is 31. Throughout our lives, and we've lived through, in my opinion, the best era of wrestling. He is without a shadow of a doubt the best champion we've ever seen. When you consider the fact that he has put guys like Sami Zayn over, he has put his entire family over. He put Sami Zayn over as a heel and as a face. Like when he was a heel, like everyone was cheering him, and then when he shifted over to face, like he's still getting the pop that like he was getting when War Games was happening. Like the matches he's put on. Like Greg said, it's kind of the biggest thing. Like he can talk with the mic and he says a little and he still says a lot at the same time whenever he talks, if that makes sense. Like the bottom line is that him with Heyman It's incredible. And the segments he did with Lesnar was awesome. The greatest part about him definitely is the fact that this dude didn't need Lesnar in order to be this big. And now he doesn't need Lesnar to be this big, and he's still doing it. And now we're going to get new rivalries. We're going to get a lot less of them, which kind of sucks. But, like, the bottom line is that his mic skills then were bad, and now he's a heel. He don't give a shit. He does not care what he says on the mic. Again, we talk about Cena. I think his best line he's ever said is, John Cena coming out with another shirt looking like Fruity Pebbles. It's like missionary every single night. Oh, my God. I was like, yo, Roman saying this? The tribal chief, I acknowledge my tribal chief. Like, he's that damn good. And I genuinely believe this is the best reign we've ever seen. All hail to tribal chief Roman Reigns. Yes, I think he's the best champion we've ever seen.
NBA Rigged says Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, Hulk Hogan, best three, best showman. Period. I'm going to tell you my top three, and that will answer the question. Okay. So at number 3, I have Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Specifically the Hollywood run when he was in WCW.
The Hollywood run in particular. I know that say your prayers, eat your vegetables, take your vitamins is probably the more traditional version to go with. But Hollywood Hulk Hogan made it cool to be a heel. Okay? Roman Reigns as a heel champion doesn't ever fucking happen if it's not for Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Plain and simple. And I understand that's like WCW, WWE. We really didn't fucking clarify. But my number 2 of all time is Stone Cold Steve Austin. If Hulk Hogan invented it, Stone Cold perfected it. Wrestling was never bigger than when Stone Cold was fighting for champions or being the champion. And it never will be as big as when Stone Cold was the champion. Plain and simple, he was the biggest draw. He'll always be the biggest draw. And to this day is still the biggest draw. The second that glass breaks, everything fucking changes. Number 1, all time, I think is closer to Roman Reigns than maybe we give him credit for. In the sense that this guy held the title when no one fucking wanted it. When wrestling was at its lowest point it's ever been, this guy carried the fucking gold. And he made people care. And he transcended wrestling as a wrestler. Much like the 2 other dudes I put on this list, he made wrestling cool again. And when it got cool again, guess who was there to put over every fucking person, including my favorite CM Punk? John fucking Cena is the greatest champion wrestling has ever fucking seen. I don't care if he wasn't making the territories. He was traveling on different fucking countries. He learned Japanese so that he could bring American wrestling to Japan. Fuck you. John Cena's the best. He'll always be the best. And if you don't fucking believe me, all you have to do is know that when those trumpets hit, everybody reacts. It's sometimes boos, sometimes cheers, sometimes the yaboos, but everybody reacts. Nobody reacted for Roman for a really long time. Everyone has reacted to Cena since he came out and punched Kurt Angle in the face.
So I'll say my top 3 because I do say that Roman is the best right now, but my top 3 actually...
I will say that.
My top 3 actually was Cena 3, Hulk Hogan 2, and Roman 1. And the reason I said that is because here's the thing.
Fucking dropped on a second.
Well, wait a second. Well, wait a second. So here's why I didn't put Stone Cold. Here's why I didn't put Stone Cold in the top. If you remember the '98 run when Austin 316 became over the top, 97, when it was like the, him, like the rallying cry and stuff, he was never champion. It was the feud with Bret Hart that got him like over
Sid
and all
was
that.
champion.
That's true. 98 though, if you look at his entire 98, his first 2 months were with Dude Love as champ. Were with Dude Love. Then he had his thing with Kane. Then after Kane, it was Undertaker. Then it was Undertaker and Kane. Then he didn't have the belt for a while. And then he gets the belt and then flip-flops with the Undertaker in 99 and then flip-flops with Mankind. The point I'm making is that Austin, yes, got the belt, but the storyline throughout that run was him versus McMahon. The storyline was McMahon did not want him as champion, but that just natural rivalry that we got from McMahon versus Austin when a title couldn't have been involved, it didn't need to be involved, makes me say that that's why I don't put him as one of the top champions of all time, because he was so popular and so over the top, he didn't need the belt. I think the belt is one of those things that, yes, it can be a detriment, but guys who use the belt in ways to get others to that promised land and also maintain the business that is currently going on is why they're considered the greatest champions. That's why. So for the record, I would have put Ric Flair in here if I was considering like Crockett or WCW. I wasn't for this category. The reason Ric Flair was so good was because Flair could work with anyone and make them look incredible. He made Lex Luger look like an amazing athlete in his time, and we all know that ain't for shit. That ain't for shit. So that's the reason I put him there. But I look at all these other guys. I put Hulk Hogan at 2 because wrestling exploded in the 80s with him as champion, and it was a monster factory. People gravitated towards Hulk Hogan, and you came to see him play. You came to see him work. You came to see him try to overcome the monster that they would push towards him with the same thing, the Hulk up, the punches, the whip into the ropes, the big boot, and the leg drop, 1, 2, 3, and it worked. Cena is the same thing. While you may have gotten the same thing with Cena over and over again and people got sick of it, the one thing you can never count on with Cena is that he was reliable. He got people over. He worked with everyone. He didn't have any qualms about it, and he could put on a great match with anyone. Even in the later years of his full-time career when he was working with some of our favorites, like AJ Styles, like Bray Wyatt, like Daniel Bryan, he could work with all of them, and he showed out for it. So that is why I would put those guys ahead right now. And when Roman eventually decides that he is going to go even more part-time and goes towards Hollywood, we will think the same way of him as well.
Well, that's definitely Roman is definitely going to be doing more Hollywood. But guys, I'm not going to lie. I'm very glad because we get to give our perspective on our list, which is nice. I want to premise this by saying that Roman is not in my top 3, despite what I said about Roman earlier. Again, this is my top 3, just like that's y'all's top 3. This is my top 3.
Well, hang on. So this is your personal top 3, your favorite champions, or who you think objectively was the best?
Do I objectively? So I don't want to say. If I say objectively, I just gave Roman. I think objectively Roman is the best. So I guess I'll say cool. I guess I'll say this is my personal top 3.
Okay, because I think Greg and I would have different personal top 3s, but
yes,
that's fair. But like I think the way Roman has been, like Roman, I feel like this run with Roman is incredible. And maybe I'm just caught up in the 1,000 days because his other reigns were horrible. They just weren't good. But so maybe I'm just caught up there. But like, let's just call it what it is. All right.
Go for it.
So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna start number 3. I actually have Cena at 3. John Cena was the best champion at a time when wrestling essentially was in a decline. When he went through things like the PG era and the ruthless aggression, which was trying so hard to cling to what the Attitude Era was. The bottom line is that the Attitude Era was the peak, but when wrestling was bad or when it was in a decline, Cena took the brass ring and he carried that company on his back and did it every single week. Whether you love him, whether you hate him, you sure as hell have to respect him. went from the Doctor of Thugonomics, having his own intro right there, which was heat, rocking this backwards hat, jerseys, always rapping with his promos, which some people loved, some people hated. Don't get it. I loved it. You had him with his big ass chain on his neck and the lock, Word Life, you know, like the
John Cena crawled so Max Caster could fly. Just saying.
The bottom line is that he went from that to hustle, loyalty, and respect, and like at that point, it wasn't even a persona. He was able to just be him. Yeah. When he was him, it was dope. You know, and WWE needed someone like that after The Rock left, after Stone Cold was gone. You know, it was tough. It was very tough times, and Cena was that guy. And you know, he's willing to do that. And he carried that company every single week. And you know, it was genuinely dope. But I have him at 3. I'm gonna go with number 1 before I go to number 2, because number 2 is gonna cause a little controversy.
We're all about the controversy here.
Good, of course. Number 1 is Stone Cold Steve Austin. There's no debate. Best era, best champion. Again, Josh said it best: when the glass shatters, everything changes. I don't care if you're 6 or 65. If you're a wrestling fan, you know Stone Cold, and you know when that glass shatters, shit changes. I mean, I'm 31. Again, 33, 31. Josh, Greg, respectively. You cannot sit there and tell me you did not watch WrestleMania and get the fuck out of your seat when that glass shattered and he walked down to the ring to face Kevin Owens. Like, oh my God. He was walking down there when he was 35.
Correction, he took a 4-wheeler down, but the point is the same. I like it.
He was headed down there to stop a mud hole in Kevin Owens and walk it dry. That's what he was going to do.
And you know, Kevin
Swagger, I couldn't believe it. And he was taking suplexes on the outside.
You could tell Kevin Owens was just like a kid in a candy store waiting for that to happen. Oh yeah.
No, and I love KO. KO is my favorite wrestler right now. Like, he's my favorite guy to watch. But like him taking over the Stunner, him wrestling Stone Cold, like it was a dream come true. So I want to say that. But number 2, and this is where the controversy is going to come. And you know, I love stirring the pot a bit.
If you say Kyrie Irving, I'm going to drive to Pittsburgh right now and whip your ass.
Actually, I was going to say James Harden. But
okay.
I love it.
Number 2, I feel like he's a guy who's very underappreciated. And again, you could maybe point to some recency bias. It doesn't matter to me. The bottom line is that when we talk about the time that, and it's not The Rock, which I'm very glad none of us put The Rock on there. It's not that he's not great.
He did have the best belt intro, though, where he like whips it up.
Yeah.
It's still the coolest fucking thing. Like, that's
absolutely.
The best.
The way he carried it, like, it was dope. It was cool. Like, it was awesome. You know, but I think The Rock didn't need a belt to be a superstar.
No.
So maybe that's why it is. Because he was so good on a microphone. Like, he's the best that's ever had a microphone in his hand. And I don't even think there's anyone close to him. I think you have The Rock. Then you have like guys like Flair, CM Punk, and you know, just guys Cena, like those guys. But my number 2 is Randy Orton. I see what you guys are saying. Like, yeah, maybe I forgot about him. Like, here's the thing about Randy. When you have a guy like Cena, how does Cena actually thrive? He's going to thrive based on his contemporaries. And you have a guy like Randy who was the contemporary to John Cena. So that's number 1. Number 2, in trying to save whatever you can that is left of the attitude era and the ruthless aggression era, Randy Orton was willing to go there, and he was willing to take it so far. This is a guy that booted Stephanie McMahon in her head and then had Triple H handcuffed to a rope and kissed her on the cheek. Like, he got thrown out a window when Triple H stormed his house, and that was when Triple H was going through his phase. Like, he's a guy that essentially, I don't want to say LeBron James, but like, he was a guy that like was a phenom and following in the footsteps. He was 3rd generation. When he came into Evolution, we were like, oh, there's big things coming. 14 championships is something I could have never predicted. But when he was on those reigns, man, we hated it. We absolutely could not stand this man. He was someone that got under your skin. He was someone that you did not want to hear. He was someone you didn't want to see on TV. And it makes you think like, damn, if this dude could do that, but do it for 14 times, and every single time he was actually in the ring, he put on a show and he helped put guys like Cena up to that level, helped put guys like Edge up to that level, helped put a lot of guys, including Triple H, up to that level. Like, no matter who he was, we're talking about the Viper, the Legend Killer. We're talking about him. And he was a guy that, to me, I have him at 2 because I genuinely feel like he's underappreciated. When he was that guy and when he was in the ring and when he was, shaved head, he didn't give a damn. And we could talk all we want about Cena and the trumpets. Like, you're only as good as your contemporaries, as your opponents. And Orton was the guy that helped him put him up there. So I got Orton ahead of Cena at 2. And I love the greatness of Cena. He's my dude too. Love him. He's on my Mount Rushmore. But in terms of this argument, this tier 1, 2, 3, I got Stone Cold 1. I got Orton 2 slightly, and I got Cena 3.
I would just the only reason I think you think Randy Orton is cool is because they did with John Cena what they aren't afraid to do with Roman. If this was that era, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns would trade the belt back and forth.
All the time. But
they decided to hold and just let Roman carry it. And I think that's such it's shitty to say it's brave. It's a smart decision that they made that they should have made with Cena and probably regret not making. Real quick, in the chat, NBA Rig, Greg, I'm with you. Put Vince McMahon actually above all wrestlers. He is the story, the best entertainer, the biggest moneymaker. I love Vince's daughter's storyline as well. Stephanie also had a great run.
Stephanie was a great heel. Great heel.
And then he says, The Rock, yes, I thought he was above Cena or more popular than Cena during Cena's first 4 years. Triple H, he's one of my favorites. He was stellar. Do you guys like Triple H? Yes. Trips?
Yes.
I think we all I said
definitely an omission from the list.
Trips was the guy that, like, if you knew you were in a bad spot, you could always rely on him to carry the belt and do it in a right way. Dre, I think the reason I don't hold Orton in kind of the same boat as you is simply for the fact that during like the early 2010s, late 2000s, like they ran Orton and Cena down our throats like so many times that like here's what's they had to, but like here's the and they had to, and I agree, but like goddamn, like it was just like it got to a point where I'm like, all right, like they main event a pay-per-view or something like that, and I'm like, all right, like what else are they gonna do to try to like be different and all that stuff? And it's hard for me to get an emotional attachment when it's the same thing I've seen over and over and over again. At least with the different guys that I named, they were willing to they at least like were able to find ways to make something work with different guys. They were able to kind of mix it up and all that. Like don't get me wrong, like I think every champion has like a signature rivalry that we all kind of point out as like the one that like we gravitate towards. Like Hulk Hogan, I think, is Macho Man.
Correct.
Yeah, like Cena's is Orton, unfortunately, because just the amount of times that they do it. But
it's Rock or Punk, but that's me.
I also said this during the pre-show, an honorable mention that I would have said. I'm pretty glad no one said it, but someone like Edge, I feel like is someone who's kind of underappreciated.
It's a good pick.
I just wanted to throw him there. I don't know if he'd be in my top 5.
Edge's greatest rival was John Cena. That's a fair point.
The other
Edge to Cena to Orton to Cena, and then Edge was there too.
Eric has heel Kurt Angle, which I think we can all agree was fucking tight, and Y2J. So I think
top 5 also on the mic is Y2J.
Yeah, I mean we could sit here and give top 5 favorite or top 5 that we think are the best. You know what I mean? I mean, we could sit here and do this for hours because that's what wrestling fans do.
Yes, they do. They do it very well, too, just saying.
But let's move on to our game, shall we?
Let's do it. Dre, are you familiar with the running back game that we do on Two Beers Deep?
I am not, because I'm a third string running back.
Well, basically, we make these little 8-bit characters run across the screen, and whichever one wins, that's the draft we do.
I am familiar with this. Actually, I lied. I have seen this. There was one running back. I think it was Alsace. The one time I've seen it. Alsace's running back, I think, was down like 40 yards and came back and made a miraculous.
Yeah, it very well could be. Greg, Derek says Randy Orton was Cena's greatest rival. Shut the fuck up.
Fuck off, dictator.
Actually, this is actually a great draft to have Dre on for. When you said it was wedding season earlier, I'd put in top 5 people I wish I could go back and invite to my wedding. Dre is up there because he brings the party.
Yes.
So we're going to do the Bachelor Party draft. And as we figure out who goes where here, so basically the Bachelor Party draft is we're going to take turns picking when the real fans show up. What? Oh, I don't know. Thanks, Derek. You totally threw me off. Fucking hell. All right. So, basically, I'm going to go ahead and let that finish. Whee! Okay.
Get there.
So the Bachelor Party draft. Let me find the rules here. Okay. You get, with your 5 picks, you have to pick the destination, the activity, the song that is iconically remembered for the Bachelor Party, a celebrity guest, and the worst guy that you don't want. So, like, pick an archetype that always shows up at the Bachelor Party.
Oh, I was going to say, we can't pick an actual person because that would hurt people's feelings so bad if we did that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, the draft goes Greg, Josh, Dre, and we'll just do it. We'll go back to the top. We will not serpentine.
What was the third? So we have destination, activity, and then...
Destination, activity, worst kind of guy to have, the song that is iconic through the trip, and celebrity guest.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Just want to make sure I have everything down.
I got to run in like 5 minutes. You 3 stellar gentlemen are lighting up the sports entertainment. Love all 3 of you. Spectacular takes on sports. Great conversation. Thank you so much, NBA Rigged. And we'll make sure we get hooked up with you on email so that we can do NBA
Would
fantasy.
love a fantasy basketball league with NBA Rig.
Yeah,
absolutely. Appreciate you, NBA Rig. Love you.
All right. So I'm up first then.
Yes,
basically,
sir.
With this. Okay.
Almost. I'm talking about.
All right.
You're good.
Oh, okay. All right. So destination.
Going destination first. Okay.
I'm gonna go I'm gonna go destination first. I'm not gonna pick Vegas because I think that's a cop out.
Greg, also please keep in note that whatever you say will happen for you whenever.
Oh fuck. if that ever happens.
So
if that ever happens.
I'm Greg. I want to go to Napa Valley for wine country.
No, can I be on? I'll be honest. Like I was in Detroit this past couple of days, and I picked up a magazine that was like a beer drinker thing because it had all of like Michigan's breweries and stuff. I didn't realize how many were in fucking Grand Rapids alone. I was like, holy shit. I was like, Jesus Christ. I could die on a weekend in Grand Rapids more than likely, but I'm not going to go that route. If I had to pick, it's a city that I love being in. I did not get a chance to fully experience it because it was during Lent and I wasn't able to, and I didn't drink, but I feel like I would have a ton of fun there. For a bachelor party destination, I would do Toronto.
I love that so much.
I love being in Toronto. It's so clean there. Like they have the LCs on every single corner are just incredible, and they're perfect timed as well. And just like the King Street is just incredible with the amount of bars that are there. And I don't know, I feel like I would have a lot of fun in Toronto if just with all the stuff that you could do up there. So give me Bachelor Party destination, give me Toronto.
So I hear Toronto is actually the second, maybe third best city to go to, and I've never been. I feel like Toronto is propped up because of Drake. I actually hear Montreal is a lot crazier.
I believe it.
There's a lot more things legal.
Yeah. So, and that might be part of it, but like I definitely want to go to Toronto. So I love
Toronto's beautiful. Beautiful city. It's so nice. Yes.
All right. I'm up, and with my first my crew that I do bachelor parties with normally, they get after it in the alcohol department. And I feel like there's one person who could maybe take us a tick above where we've been previously in bachelor parties. Give me the machine, Bert Kreischer.
Oh, that's a great pick.
Wait. So we're going to Toronto with Bert, but
no. He's picking Bert for like his celebrity appearance for his bachelor party.
You get to pick all of those.
It doesn't have to be okay, so it could be any order.
Yes. Any order, bud. Any order, bud.
You were picking your destination.
No. Like it's whatever you want, bud.
Okay, perfect. There's a ton of celebs, so I'm not going to go down that. I love Bert. I love that pick. I want to make sure I get my destination right. And with Toronto being gone, I feel like this isn't Josh's vibe, so this is cool by me. And if I'm not trying to offend you or anything, my dude, I just feel like it's not your vibe, But if I want a bachelor party and it's not going to be Vegas, because again, I believe that's a cop out. I'm looking at a city. I want to go party in a city where the heat is on all night, all day, and get my freak on. So I'm going to Miami.
Oh my God!
To Miami, hey, and I'll be there in a couple of weeks. I don't know if I get to experience all of it myself, but hey, I'm going. And if I'm going as a bachelor, for the bachelor party, like it's gonna be a hell of a time. I hear Miami is a hell of a city. It truly doesn't get better than South Beach. There's just something different about that Florida air. You're talking about the deepest South, and you're on that sand. It's supposed to be different. So I need to experience that. So Miami is where I'm going.
So Josh, have I told you, by the way, that the reason that Dre loves wedding season and all this so much is because he's an expert matchmaker, from what I've been told. A lot.
You've just been told that?
I've been told that.
Oh,
yes.
you've just been told that.
Yes. From what I've gathered, he's an expert matchmaker.
You're really lucky Derek's not here.
Derek's listening to the comments right now.
So a lot of these weddings that Dre's going to, he literally set up and stuff. He got that hookup, if you will.
NBA Rigged is going to Ecuador for his bachelor party.
Okay.
That's pretty crazy.
Interesting. Okay.
Derek is going to your mom's house, Dre.
He's a great lake.
I'm just trying to. All right, cool. You're good. Move on.
Greg, you married yet? Deke wants to know.
No, not even close. You're up on the wraparound though, bud. So you got your second.
We're going back to the top.
Oh, we're not doing the wraparound.
Nope,
okay.
I stated that you weren't.
Okay, got. Sorry.
Surprise.
Sorry. Okay. I'm trying to think about this. So, guy I don't want on my bachelor party.
Ooh, okay.
Wow.
This one's tough because I feel like for my bachelor party, I would be very strict with who I'd invite.
It always happens, Greg, no matter what. There's
I
always
know.
that guy.
Or gal, even, in fairness.
True.
But
that means Steph's coming on the bachelor party. I got it.
Yes, more than likely. If I had to, I would probably say I do not want someone who this is going to sound bad, but I don't want someone who just recently got dumped.
Yes, Greg.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good one, Greg.
I don't want someone who just recently got dumped because they are going to bring the vibe down entirely. Me naturally as the person I am, I'm going to try to like make them comforting and feel better and stuff that I won't get to enjoy like my actual bachelor party. So therefore, like it's going to be a conflicting thing. So that's kind of the area I'm leaning towards in that sense. I don't want someone who just got dumped to come to my bachelor party.
I think that's an elite pick. And the only reason he wouldn't be my pick is because I feel like if I ended up with one of those, that's where Bert Kreischer comes into play. Guy we don't want for me, the guy who doesn't pay his tab.
Oh, damn, that's the worst.
The guy who's like, well, I brought chips. Okay, motherfucker. Congratulations. That does
bachelor
not
party,
abstain you from the $3,000 bill that racked up for everybody else this trip. Fuck you, pay it. The second bachelor party I ever planned, there was one of those, and it really fucking sucks. So.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, I was out a lot of money. It was bad, but
I'd be pissed if I were you. Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah.
Dre.
So the guy I don't want at my bachelor party is quite simply the guy that has to check in with his significant other.
Oh no!
I don't want that person because you can't do what you want. It's a bachelor party, and I will not say more than that. We're men. We gotta sit down. Just leave it down.
That might be a better pick than mine. That's a good point.
Wake up and you're like, hey baby, how are you? We did this, and this yesterday. Like, no, I'm gone for 3-4 days. I don't fucking know you. I don't want to talk to you. I'll see you when I get home. I'm gonna miss you. But I need 3 days, 4 days away from you, and I don't want it. You know, no disrespect. I love you, and I will always love you. But I do not need to check in with you every day. Maybe a text at like noon at lunch, like, hey, I just ate. I'm alive. Cool. Talk to you tomorrow.
I just ate. I'm alive. That's fair. That's a very fair point, actually. If you are dating a woman that all she wants to know that you are alive that day, that's all that matters. In fairness, that's all that matters. Yeah.
Like, you know, she's giving you your space. She's also taking her space, which I think is very important. But like, if you're sitting there like checking in, like Roman Reigns said, it's like missionary every single night. Like, I don't want it.
Greg, you're up.
Oh damn. Okay. So I have I have celebrity,
okay. And the song.
Oh jeez. Song's gonna be really difficult, honestly, in my case. Activity. Honestly, like this might kind of suck, honestly, but activity, like during the day, I literally just want to go to as many breweries as possible. So I just want to go to I just want to do a brewery crawl, like at least once.
That's fine. That's a great pick.
Brewery crawl is all I ask for, at least on one of the days.
Like the end of New Girl, the Great Crawl? Absolutely. I'm fucking all in.
The Great Crawl is all I ask for.
In Toronto? Holy shit, we'd be fine.
There's plenty of breweries in Toronto to get hammered at. So yeah, that's exactly what I want. I want a brewery crawl, at least at one point.
Deke says actually you're picking a whiskey tour.
Oh,
and I'm with you wholeheartedly on either one.
I do love whiskey. Whiskey and tequila are my two liquor of choices. So
fun fact: Greg is the only one from Thoughts on the Bench who's been at my apartment, and before he went to the bar, we shared a glass of bourbon together, and it was lovely.
Yeah, okay.
And you were thrown off by the fact that I didn't ask for it on the rocks, which was like, which apparently was sacrilege or something like that.
Well, no, it's not sacrilege. It's sacrilege to me, but like I don't judge anyone for it. My point is that I'm a neat guy.
Mm-hmm.
I drink my whiskey neat. So
now tequila I need on the rocks. That's different.
Yeah, absolutely. But like someone's like, I don't want to neat. I'm like, excuse me, there's more of us? We exist?
Yes.
So I've done the full gamut on bachelor parties where
you are very well experienced in this,
really
I imagine.
am at this point.
Yeah.
Been very lucky. I have a great group of friends that I've really. But I'm gonna take it back to my bachelor party.
Okay.
Which was very low key, and there was only like 4 of us, but it was the best. And I would need to rent this place out, kind of thing, and I would need a bigger group to do it with. But again, keeping in mind that I have Bert Kreischer with me, and I've already said that I'm not gonna have the guy who doesn't pay, so we're all gonna pick up this tab together. I'm renting out laser tag.
This is a lot of fun.
Somebody's blowing out a knee.
That's
There's
electric.
Like a fist fight that's gonna break out.
That's incredible.
So fucking good. Give me
amazing.
laser tag. That is. We've played paintball before, but paintball's outside, so like you're relying on weather at that point, and so yeah, give me laser tag, especially if we rent it out, right? Who cares if we've got beers in there? You make beers capture the flag. Whoever empties the other team's cooler first wins. That's pretty simple to me.
That's incredible.
Play Juice WRLD, says he.
I
haven't played laser tag in forever, so that would be an elite idea for a bachelor party. I love it.
I love it too, and it kind of reminds me of How I Met Your Mother, and it also reminds me of this bachelor party I went to. I went to Boston, but we went to Sky Zone. And there was a couple dudes there who were like ready to just sweet chin music. Some of these kids on the other side of the dodgeball court, like it was really cool. All right, so
paintball is overrated, Deke. You're right. Yeah.
So I have my worst guy. I have my destination.
You need an activity, a song.
The activity I want to do, I feel like, is going to be a combination of the place and very much messing up the guy that checks in with his wife all the time.
Okay.
Trying to put him in a secluded area and hope that this is right. Give me like a 10 to 6:30, 7 o'clock beach day on Miami where we just take over the beach and there's nothing but music, beer, volleyball games, dancing. I want that. People just going in and out of the water. I want to own the beach. I would love to own the beach, and I don't know how you do it, but I feel like you do it with those couple of things. So that's what I would want.
Can I help you here?
Yeah, of course.
There is a place off the coast of Florida, in the Gulf, called Crab Island.
Okay.
And there's only 2 boats out, or one boat out, 1 boat in, and it leaves at 6 a.m. and it doesn't come back till midnight. And basically, it is a bar that is on a sandbar in the middle of the fucking ocean.
Wow.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the comment.
Oh, what is the comment? He's picking a group of hookers. Oh, good. That's a good pick, Dre.
Hooker. One hooker for the
What is a group hooker? Oh, a group hooker.
Oh my God. I'm not. Oh,
hey,
Jesus Christ.
I'm not saying it, but if it happens,
like Duke Lacrosse. Oh Jesus, that was not funny.
The best man goes last.
Jesus Christ.
Oh man, but yeah, Crab Island sounds really cool. I would do the
best man goes last.
That
Fuck
crab
you.
But yeah, that's what I would do.
All right, fuck you, Greg. You've got your guy you don't want, your activity, your destination. You need a song and a celebrity.
I could be lame and say Sweet Caroline and force everyone to say "Let's Go Pitt" on the bump, but that would be lame.
Put yourself in your perspective of where you're at in your setting.
I'm gonna go "Hooked on a Feeling."
Yeah.
Yeah.
The brewery vibes, I like that a lot.
Yeah. I think that'd be a fun one. Honestly, though, like, the song is one of those things that, like, it has to come naturally.
Yeah,
like, you can't force it.
It does.
So I would imagine, like, someone creates a playlist or something, and then that song, like, it just becomes an inside joke throughout, like, the weekend, and then it just manifests itself from that. So, like, I think that's usually how that's up. But I think an easy one to start off with is definitely "Hooked on a Feeling."
Yep.
And I wholeheartedly agree. You can't force the song, but the song kind of takes over the group, and then it just
absolutely, yes.
becomes a part of the trip.
I'm also going with my song. Life's Been Good. It's by Joe Walsh. This is the mandatory song. It's an inside joke with my friends and I, but it's a classic and it's a long song, so that's good.
I like it.
But Life's Been Good, banger. Shout out Corey.
By the way, Deke in the chat saying Greg picking the Magic School Bus theme song. That gave me an idea. Maybe I should change mine to the Power Rangers theme song.
Oh,
it could be Dre instead of Greg, and he just messed up. Like, who knows?
Pledge of Allegiance.
Who knows?
Sid.
It's GRE. Like, I don't know. And Deke's losing it.
Yeah. I'm glad we're entertaining him. I'm glad we're entertaining him. That's all that matters.
I'm gonna go with my celeb because I know my song is safe, and even if it's not, there's so much music out there like we can vibe with. I'm in my setting. Celeb for me is easy. This dude's an absolute animal. I could turn up with him, and I could also have down to earth conversations with him.
Did you just pick Kanye West?
No, I did not. I know he brings us crew with him, which is cool, and they're all normal guys, but at the same time, sort of famous celebs. Like, the bottom line is, like, I know for a fact this dude would just he'd bring the house down, and I'd be fucking all for it. Give me Pat McAfee.
Oh, that's a great.
You said easy, but it sounded like you said Yeezy, and I was like, what is your obsession with? Like, fucking picking wild fucking aces.
No.
Kyrie and Kanye in the same fucking show.
Kyrie is Kanye West with handles, and Kanye is Kyrie with a singing voice. So, but no, give me Pat McAfee.
Great pick.
And I don't think twice about it.
Oh, that's a great.
Thanks, Sid. I swear to God, he said easy. He definitely said easy. The chat is fucking your day up, Trey.
They're with you. They're against me. It's always how it is.
No, that ain't true. You said it.
It's easy.
Shit.
I'm kind of mad because Pat McAfee would be the perfect pick for me. Actually, now that I think about it,
that was a good pick. That was
a great pick.
I know we're ripping on Dre. That's a great fucking pick. And Pat McAfee's paying for it. Like, he's picking up the tab everywhere.
And that's a guy you want on your
That is the guy you want. The bankroller. You did a double. I like that. That's a good shot. Greg.
Hey, you guys are invited to the Bachelor Party. That's all I'm saying.
You need your
I do not know who I want for this one.
Chad is not invited, by the way, since they're saying I invited Kanye. They're not invited.
They're not invited? Okay. Neighbors
I struggle with this one the most because I have no fucking clue what celebrity I would want at my bachelor party because, quite frankly, I don't really want one. But
he's gonna say like Mickey Mouse, and we're gonna be okay with it.
I'm trying to think of like who's the Gregest celebrity that I could think of that would like
dude,
Mickey Mouse would be incredible.
Where's your pants, Donald?
Oh, that'd be amazing. I have no fucking clue. This is one that I was like kind of like waiting for last because goddamn, I don't know who I would want.
I kind of want Greg to pick Kirk Cousins so we can just do the meme of like them pointing at each other.
That would actually be tight. Except for I don't think Kirk Cousins drinks.
Yeah, he's lame. He drives a VW like beat up wagon. Like he's kind of a douche. Like
Derek says, Bill Nye the Science Guy.
No, hang on.
No, because he would educate us the entire time, and I don't need that.
You're the only one with the celeb left. We can skip you if you want, and you can kind of like think about it.
Because I'm gonna struggle with that because I honestly don't want a celeb, but like I can't figure out like who's a good fit for me.
You gotta have a celeb, dude. You want it.
I really don't, honestly. Like
Hangman Adam Page.
We get into some cowboy shit.
I think like I'm trying to think of like cuz like saying Andrew McCutcheon or like somebody that's like on your like bucket list to meet is bad, but like somebody where you're like this is awesome that Hangman Adam Page is here. I think like I'm trying to think of like somebody that's like fun like that you just like cuz I've been really hammered with you a number of times where like I feel like that one thing that would make you just like every time you look at that person like give the Greg like
I got the perfect guy in my mind.
Here.
Who?
Jonah Hill.
No.
Greg would turn and say like, "Wow, Jonah Hill is at my fucking thing." Or
actually, as someone who's going to have a hand in planning your bachelor party, whether you don't want it or not, Ryan Votash is your celebrity guest.
God damn it! Fucking shoot me.
Got him. Chip. Oh, Chip would be a good pick.
Chip's a better pick.
Do you want to go
Please
Chip?
change it.
I'll give you
Chip. Chip is a way better pick than Votash.
One.
Yes.
That'll also be great on the graphic. Yeah.
Yes, Chip is a way better pick than Votash. Absolutely.
Chip is good. I like Chip being the pick. That's a good pick.
Yes. Chip would be a lot more fun than that fuckhead Votash. Yes.
Yeah, that's good. I like Chip. Okay, I'm up. I've got my place, and you fucking idiots skipped right over it. You both went with your destination, and I knew I was fucking gold. I've had not my bachelor party, but I've planned a bachelor party here. It's the fucking best. It's Nashville.
You got a place to crash too, so you don't have to pay for a hotel room.
No, we're paying for a house. Fuck that. Not that I don't want to stay with Derek, but we're paying for a house.
You haven't lived until you've been woken up by a 1-year-old dog that just leaps on you while you're still sleeping.
You haven't lived till I woke you up after the first night of heavy drinking with Taylor Swift's greatest hits, and that's happening in Nashville.
Can I change my song to Anti-Hero?
Nope.
I like let's call it how it is. Anti-Hero slaps.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have picked Last Friday Night by Katy Perry. That would have been that's one that I vibe to. Or Dark Horse.
That doesn't surprise me. Dre, you need your song.
So there was an era in freshman year where Firework was actually lit as hell. With like the people that lived on my floor, and that was really cool. But the song's easy. It's my bachelor party. It's about me. I'm gonna pick the greatest song of all time, and it's gonna bring the entire beach to the party.
If you say OPP, I'm done.
Nah, it's Return of the Mac, dog.
Oh damn it! That's an elite pick. Elite pick.
It's the elite of elite songs. I think it's the greatest song ever created. This dude made one song, and it was perfect.
When the entire like bachelor, when the entire like everyone there just goes, oh, and just belts that out, it'd be a vibe. It'd be a vibe.
And then the beat drops, and everyone's just dancing on the beach. Like, think about it. Like the mood is perfect, you know. And Pat McAfee's jumping off the top of a lifeguard stand into some sand.
That's incredible.
Okay, so Deke just submitted his. His destination is Nashville. Yes, he said Yeezy again. I heard it. Destination is Nashville. And then guy he doesn't want is the guy who makes new friends and tries to add them to the group activity. For sure.
Oh, that's the worst. But in fairness, that's also Deke.
Very serious. Karaoke song. Oh, Mr. Brightside. His celebrity is Adam Sandler. I don't see an activity on here. Oh,
we're just vibes.
I'm so sorry. His activity is karaoke, like serious karaoke. Okay, cool. I love that. That.
Karaoke bar would actually be a lot of fun on a bachelor party,
especially in Nashville. Yeah, Nashville is the spot. So
I feel like Deep Psycho made a morph of me and Greg, calling us Gray.
Yeah, I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
That's a very good point. Yeah. That's very on brand for Deke. Yeah.
No Chat GPT this week. That kind of brain power can only be reserved for our fearless dictator.
Yes.
I just can't. I fucking bring myself to do that. Sorry, everybody.
Dictator! It's gonna get over, baby.
Geek Master Taker. Alright, I'm sorry. That was horrible.
Too much, Dre. Stay in your lane, bud. Stay in your lane.
Dre, thank you so much for joining us, man. You kick ass.
Woo!
We appreciate you. You did a great job. Except for the whole Kyrie thing. It's fucking wild.
See, this is what I mean. Like Dre, like Josh and I actually put like extra thought into our things, and you just drop Kyrie Irving into us and cause a massive stir. Like, God bless. I can't wait to see the group chat with Ping just like crying after this now. So this is gonna be
on
fun.
that flight right now. He's definitely just thinking about it 30,000 feet in the air. He's like, maybe it makes sense.
Oh, he's stewing.
He's trapped in the last case of emotions.
He's stewing. The moment he lands, he's gonna text Jackie and just be like, "You're never gonna believe what this asshole Dre just did. I'm so goddamn mad." Yeah.
NBA Rigged, Sid, Deke, Ping, thank you all for chiming in the chat. Man, what a great show. Boys, thank you so much for coming.
Very honored to be on Rumble. I love you guys and thank you. As always.
Yep.
2 beers deep forever.
Absolutely, bud. Thank you as always. You can catch us on YouTube and on wherever you get your favorite podcast, whether it be Spotify, Google Podcasts, or whatever other streaming service. And until then, we will see you next Thursday as well with our fearless dictator back and at it. Dre, thank you for coming in, and say goodnight, Derek.
Good night.